Hey everyone, it's Epoch here, and welcome to my entry into this week's comic book cover challenge set by Alan the Comic Collector Geek. This is the first one I've done in a few weeks just for a variety of different reasons, but I wanted to get straight back into it as soon as I could, so here we are with this week's challenge, which is moon covers. So any comic book cover that features the moon on it, or a moon from another planet, that looks cool. So I've dove into my personal comic book collection and picked out 10 covers that feature a moon, which I think are pretty cool and I want to share with you today. So let's take a look. First up this week is Ice Cream Man number 12, which is this cool black cover here, showing kind of space, and we have Earth here at the bottom in this spaceship. But most importantly, we have the moon there in all its glory there orbiting the Earth, which is really cool. And so just a fun one to start us off with, just with the moon orbiting the Earth. So there we go, in Ice Cream Man number 12. In number 9 this week, we have Angel After the Fall, number 12, which is a really cool cover. It's kind of from the perspective of the grave and looking up, and we see Spike here tossing his cigarette in, and this flower getting tossed in as well. But the whole scene's lit by the moon in the background. This kind of bright white light of the moonlight, kind of casting over the scene here, which is really cool. This is one of my favourite Angel After the Fall covers. It's just such a great painted cover. I just really love it. So yeah, we have the moon in the background there. It's a bit lower on the list just because the moon's quite small on it, but the light of the moon is really kind of taking over the scene, making the scene come to life. So it's just a really cool one with the moon. So that's Angel After the Fall, number 12. In eighth place this week is The Amazing Spider-Man number 227. This covers quite a special one for me. It's one of the very first back issues I bought of American comics in the kind of mid to late 90s. And it's just a really cool one. I enjoyed the 90s Spider-Man animated series when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed the Black Cat character. So when I saw this cover, I was like, I need to get that cover. So I really loved it. But it's a really great cover because we have Black Cat and Spider-Man kind of standing off against one another, but we have this giant full moon in the background, kind of lighting the scene, kind of casting that kind of pale moonlight over both characters with that kind of purple background. I really enjoy purple covers as well, so it's just a great one for me. So that's The Amazing Spider-Man at number 227. Next up this week is The Huntress number 7, which is a really fun cover as well. Here we have these kind of goons kind of fighting one another, and the Huntress swinging into action. And the darkness of the Huntress is a kind of is popping with the light of the giant full moon behind her. Which is really cool. It's really big full moon on this cover. So just a fun one. So that's The Huntress number 7. And at number 6 this week, we have Elvira's House of Mystery in number 5, which is an anthology series where Elvira was the host. It's just a really great cover. Here we kind of have this spooky house here in the background, and the kind of the fog surrounding it, with this giant full moon behind it, with all these kind of bats flying forward. So it's kind of a cool spooky sequence, kind of light in the evening sky with this kind of bluish night color. And here we have Elvira in the foreground on this swing with chains on it from this tree. I just noticed as well she's actually shackled onto the chains, so it's I guess technically a bondage cover as well, which is kind of cool. But it's just a really great Elvira cover. Big fan of Elvira, and big fan of this cover because I just think it looks really cool with the kind of haunted house there and the moon in the background and Elvira in the foreground. So that's Elvira's House of Mystery number 5. In fifth place this week, we have Batman Legends of Gotham number 1, and this is the variant cover by Nathan Zerdy. It's just a really great cover. Really enjoy a lot of his covers. And I'm a big fan of Katana as well, who's featured on the cover. So I picked this one up just because it's just a great Katana cover. Here we have Katana kind of like diving down, ready for action. And in the background here we have this giant full moon, kind of shedding light on the action in this kind of hazy, kind of like purple sky, with all the sakura leaves just kind of dropping down around it as well. It's just a really cool cover for Katana. So that's Batman Legends of Gotham number 1. Next up this week is She Sakura, which is She one shot. It's the third part of the Return of the Warrior trilogy, which is the She books that creator Billy Tucci has been putting out through Indiegogo and Kickstarter. And this is the main cover by She creator Billy Tucci himself. It's just a really great one. It's kind of similar to the last one in the sense that it's in Japan. Both Katan and She are Japanese characters, and we have the kind of the Sakura leaves here as well. But again, the book is called She Sakura, and she's kind of strutting forward here. Ready for action with all this fire behind her, but behind that as well is this giant full moon, kind of like I say, lighting the scene and putting that pale glow of moonlight upon her. It's just a really cool she cover, really great one with a really great moon cover as well, really great she cover. So that's why it's at number 4. So that's She Sakura. And speaking of she, the next book this week is the Vampirella She one shot. So it's a crossover with this great cover here by Adam Hughes. Here we have She and Vampirella just ready for action, kind of again lit by this giant full moon behind them, providing that kind of eerie blue glow. Where they're just ready for action. It's a really cool cover. When I was looking for my Vampirella books, there was quite a lot of Vampirella books I found that had a moon on in some capacity, so I could have really done a Vampirella top 10 moon covers, but I decided just to pop her on once. But yeah, it's just a really great cover here again with that giant kind of bluey kind of full moon behind them, providing that glow to see She and Vampirella teaming up and ready for action. So that's Vampirella She. In second place this week is DC vs Vampires number 2, and this is one of the many kind of store exclusive variant covers. So this one's by Otto Schmidt. There was 2 versions of this. I have both of them. There's the minimal trade dress version, which is this one, which was limited to 1,000 units, I believe, and then the other one that had the DC vs Vampires logo here, which is limited to 3,000. But I've shown this cover before. I think I showed it in the Vampire Challenge last Halloween, so if you want to check out that video, you can see it in the playlist at the end. I love Supergirl as a character, and I just thought this vampire version of her was really cool. But again, we have this kind of giant full moon kind of behind her, lighting her from behind, and kind of adds to that kind of spooky, eerie, kind of horror scene with Supergirl as a vampire. And this is a really detailed moon as well. You can see all the craters and stuff, which is really cool. So I just really love this cover. So that's DC vs Vampires number 2. And my number 1 pick for moon covers is Catwoman number 56. This is the variant cover by Sweeney Boo. It's also the current Catwoman series, so it's a fairly recent book. I think it's 3 or 4 months old, this one. But I just really love this cover. I love the way that Sweeney Boo renders Catwoman. I just think it's quite a cute cover. We have kind of a Catwoman in this kind of very narrow alley, just kind of wedged between the 2 walls there, either ascending or descending, I'm not sure, and all this kind of money and stuff. But the scene in the alleys, kind of dark alleys lit by this giant full moon behind her, which just really adds to it. I just think it's a really cool cover by Sweeney Boo, and a really great Catwoman cover, and a really great moon cover for this challenge. So that's Catwoman number 56. So that was my entry into this week's comic book cover challenge by Alan the Comic Collector Geek. This week's theme was, of course, moon covers. So if you'd like to take part, just dig through your personal comic book collection and pick out 10 covers that have the moon on the cover, or a moon from another planet, just a moon in general. And if you think they're really cool, then put a video together and upload it. And if you use the hashtags #mooncover and #Friday Comic Challenge, that way everyone that takes part in these challenges can click on that hashtag, check out your video and see some cool covers that you never know we might want to add to our own collections, or likewise if you check out other people's videos you might see some cool stuff that you want to add to your collection as well. There's a lot more people taking part these days, which is really cool to see. It's great to see all these different cool covers every week that I might want to add to my collection. I'm sure my wallet's pleased about it, but as well. But it's it's just a really great way to see stuff that you might not have seen before, because everyone's tastes are different, so everyone's collections are quite varied, which is really cool. Again, I apologise for not taking part really in the last 7 to 8 weeks. There's just different reasons for that. I was on vacation for a couple of weeks. Work's been kind of crazy, and there was a couple of weeks where I just didn't have enough stuff, or I didn't feel like I could make a good enough video. But I'm back now with the moon cover challenge, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And like I say, I look forward to seeing everyone else's entries as well. And of course, check out Alan's original video, which is great too. There was a couple of issues in that I had in my collection that I could have used, but I didn't, obviously, because Alan used them in his video. If you'd like to check out some of my previous entries into the comic book cover challenge, then please click on this playlist. It's linked here at the side. And otherwise, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.